Welcome to the show, Vows of the Dam, presented to you by Dyce Reacts. I'm in Metal Eye Head Studio, and we are going to be checking out 3 things I realized after 20-year marriage. After 20-year marriage that ended in divorce. Yes.
Wow. He looks like RK. He looks a little like his resemblance. RK. When I saw him for the first time, I thought it was. You know what I'm talking about? R. Kelly.
Let's get right into it, boys.
What's up, everybody? This Professor X. Welcome back to the channel. This your first time here. Hope you find something that can do you some good, be of service to you. If it's a little bright, I'm just trying out a new light here. When you go to work and it's dark and you get off and it's dark, and I do most of the recording in the car, just gotta try new things, so I'm trying out a light. But I want to talk about 3 things that I learned after a 20-year marriage that ended in divorce.
Wow.
3 things that I learned. Now, obviously, this list can get pretty big. But I just wanted to discuss just 3 that really stuck out to my mind, and maybe it'll help somebody in their process of if you're married now, or if you're thinking about getting married, some things to consider.
Okay.
Again, as some of you know who subscribe and have heard me before, I was married for 20 years. I got married in 97 and got divorced. It was official in 2018. During that time, we had 2 children. Only 2 children that I have is from the marriage. We have a daughter that's 20 and a son that'll be 17 in March. The first thing that I want to make mention of is, after 20 years of marriage, I realized that it was possible to spend that amount of time with a person and still be on 2 separate streets. To not be on the same page. After 20 years of marriage.
20 years. Damn.
When I really was thinking about that, especially as I was going through the divorce, it really was a daunting feeling, to be honest with you, because depends on which angle you come at it. First of all, you're looking at it with the exception of the children, of course, because a lot of times that is the only positive take that we can get out of these situations, is the fact that we have children that we love to death, and we know that the Almighty wanted them here. So children aside, when you really look at any amount of time that you've spent with a person, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, for it to, for whatever reason, come to a place where you no longer can function together, and then realize that you haven't been on the same page for a very long time.
Wow. Scary words.
When I was going through the divorce and me and my ex-wife was having our final conversations before I ever moved out, I asked her, when was the last time that you feel we was on the same page? And her words to me...
We're going to take a pause here.
Yes. All right, guys. So now I wanted to ask a question. For 20 years, all right, and you only realize you guys not on the same page for so long. All right. So before you were married, this is my take on that. Before you were married, you're supposed to see these signs, right? Because you should know who you're married. You should know somebody before you go about taking the vows, man. Because I don't believe, because he said for 20 years they were not on the same street.
Well,
Understand?
well, let me correct you. He said they were together. They were married for 20 years.
For 20 years, yeah.
But you could be someone for so long and not know that you were not on the same page until as he was getting divorced.
As he was getting
yes.
divorced.
Like it really it was daunting to actually think of that, because that means he actually knew that, but he was just avoiding the obvious.
Okay, because what I'm saying is in all that time there should be signs. You know, there should be signs. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And remember, men, mostly, I'm not saying women, it doesn't happen. Women don't do that as well, but men will go through a lot of things in a marriage and still remain, regardless of what, just to keep the family intact.
Just to keep it right.
Not saying men are perfect in a relationship, but men will go to different lengths just to keep it intact.
Right.
That's what I know for sure.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Definitely take a lot.
Yeah. So that could be the reason he was just trying to just not to face that fact. Yeah, just to make it work.
Wow. Damn, man.
But man, that's tough.
Divorce, and me and my ex-wife was having our final conversations before I ever moved out. I asked her, when was the last time that you feel we was on the same page? And her words to me was 15 years ago.
Damn, man. Whoa.
So the purpose of me sharing that and this is because I believe in relationships. I believe in marriages. Mine came to a close. It ended. But even still, I have helped several people and still continue to help several people in theirs. That's people that email me and text me from all across the United States that know me, or somebody I knew had them text me with a question. So I believe in marriages. This is one of the reasons why I put relationships as a part of my channel here. I believe in it. And so I would say to you all who are in marriages now or thinking about getting married, please, 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 I beg you, I implore you, especially in marriage. Now, you don't want to waste nobody's time dating either, but I really just want to talk to people who are married or really thinking about getting married or thinking about getting divorced. God forbid. To me, it's the worst. It's not what it's chopped up to be. Please, if you're going to be married, find a way early to get and remain on the same page.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is life is going to kick in shortly after. They say the honeymoon stage lasts about a year, if that. Life is going to kick in. Work becomes normal. Everything is going to fall in place. The wife gets pregnant. Kids show up. Babies show up. Daycare show up. Pampers show up. The rut of life shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not intentional about staying on the same page, we can end up 20 years in and have no idea who the other person is.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, don't even like the other person. Think about those of you who have been divorced already. No matter how many years you've been together, when it came time for that closure of the divorce, a lot of you probably have said the same thing. Either he or she don't know me, I don't know them, and in most cases, you can't even stand one another, and it's been that way for a very long time.
That's why they say take time to know her.
So that's the first thing that I realized after 20 years of marriage that ended in divorce, that it is possible to spend that amount of time and be nowhere near on the same page. The second thing that I thought about was, this may sound honorable, but let me explain it. Staying together just for the sake of the kids will not work. That's what me and my ex-wife decided to do. And I think that's why she said 15 years, because we knew 5 years into the marriage, it probably needs a lot of help.
What?
We did the therapy thing, and we did it a couple of times, and I'm taking full responsibility. The first 1 or 2 times we went, I wasn't that motivated to go. As a downfall of most men, right? A lot of us men don't, especially at those times, we don't want to go sit in front of somebody else and tell our business, hear what somebody else got to say, right? That's a man just like us, so that's a woman that's got her own marriage. So in those days, we really didn't want to go to therapy like that. So the first 1 or 2 times, I wasn't really into it. And then after that, she wasn't really into it. And so we just decided, well, we have kids, we'll just stay together for the sake of the kids. And I'm saying, if you're going to stay together, even though that sounds awful.
Yeah.
He said something that not many people, I haven't heard many people speak on that. Not necessarily exactly what he's saying, but therapy is a double-edged sword when couples go to therapy, like married couples go to therapy, because you would think that it would be fair, but there is always some sort of biasness. It's just human beings. A male might be more biased to a male, female might be more biased to a female.
You see that?
You don't know the psychiatrist or whoever the therapist. You don't know their true intentions.
Right,
you don't know if that person is a moral person. Who's to know that's create more confusion in your marriage?
Yeah, true.
For their own agenda. We don't. So I would say it's a double-edged sword. That's the best way I could put it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would say yes. I agree with you. I agree. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I have never looked upon relationship channels. Yours is the only one that I've looked upon, and I'm so glad that you brought this to my attention. You know, as a married man, yes, guys, and I could tell you for sure. I'm not gonna make this about me. You know, I'm not gonna go into that. But I probably might be on the channel anytime soon. You know, so let's leave that for another show.
God forbid. I don't want to laugh, man. God forbid, bro.
Oh my God. Well, it's a relationship channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could talk about my past.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I could let's let people know what I went through as I would say like a teen growing up, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he got a lot of interesting stories.
Yes, guys.
We're gonna take it bit by bit.
But now it's all done.
It's all said and done.
Yes. All right, guys. So
we'll take it back a bit.
Want to go to therapy like that. So the first 1 or 2 times, I wasn't really into it. And then after that, she wasn't really into it. And so we just decided, well, we have kids, we'll just stay together for the sake of the kids. And I'm saying, if you're going to stay together, even though that sounds honorable, it sounds like something that we should rejoice about. Yeah, for the kids, they're going to stay together for the kids. But if that's the only reason, it won't work. Let me tell you why. When I left the house to be separated, because in North Carolina, you have to be separated for a year.
Okay.
I believe my daughter was 12 or 13 years old. From the time she was a baby to the time I left the house, my daughter never saw an embrace of affection between her mother and myself. And I'm ashamed to say that. My children grew up my daughter being the oldest. When I left, my son, I guess, had to be 8 or 9, so my daughter was 12 or 13. Neither of our children, while we were married, saw us be intimate in terms of a hug, a kiss,
Terrible, man.
a touch, and embrace anything loving. So to say we're gonna stay together for the kids, but not really be feeling one another, we're sending a negative influence into the atmosphere that the kids can pick up on, even though they may not know what they're picking up on. And that's going to have an impact on their relationships as they get older. That leads into my, I'm going to add 2 and 3 together. The kids will be affected.
Yeah. Most
The
definitely.
kids will be affected. And more than likely, if it's not done, and most marriages that I know of are not done in the best way. So more than likely, it will have a negative impact on the children. Especially depending on their age at the time that it happens. Especially if they're children that was born to both parents of that family. Like my 2 children were. Because again, adults, we have a way of hiding things, or we think we're hiding things from the kids. And then all of a sudden they get this news that mom and dad is not going to be together no more. And we, again, who knows the trauma of the mind? And we're not going to change our mind, right? So the kids just have to accept the information, deal with the information, process the information, know that things probably wasn't the best anyway, but they're not thinking divorce. The kids will be affected. So definitely stand together for the sake of the kids. If that's the only reason, that's not an honorable reason, because they're going to pick up on the atmosphere. They're going to pick up mom and dad is not cordial towards one another. They're going to pick up mom doesn't want to be touched by dad. Dad doesn't want to be bothered by mom. They're going to pick up on that. So they're not going to see in their times of youth a healthy relationship where positive affection is going on, positive communication is going on. They're not going to see it, and it's going to have an impact on their relationship as they get older, because now they have to figure out from scratch what it's supposed to be, because they didn't have a positive example when they was children. And if there's one thing that I wish that I could do over, something in that I wish I could change. If I was a genie with a magic wand, I would somehow change that and try to wipe that out of their mind and wipe that out of their youth, so that they would not be impacted.
Right.
But the reality is, the psychology is, they're going to be impacted. Not only from the divorce itself, but from what they felt during the marriage, in a situation where we said we're going to stay together just for the kids. If you're going to stay together during the marriage, in a situation where we said we're going to stay together just for the kids. If you're going to stay together, make sure that it's for one another, which includes the kids. My advice, don't take that cop out. Don't take that cop out. If you're going to say, I'm going to wait for the kids to become 18, whatever years old, and then get the divorce, your mind is already outside of the house. Your mind is already somewhere else. And if you think that kids can't pick, we can't fool them like we think we can. No. They may not be able to articulate what they feel, but they're watching when we don't think they're watching, and they feel what we are not even aware that they feel.
Yeah, those energies, man.
Anyway, hopefully this can help somebody. Hopefully this can trigger something. Post something down in the comments. Anybody that's been there, anybody that's lived through it, anybody who has been through it and their children have spoken to them and told them pretty much some of the things that they felt or how it hurt. Post something down in the comments. Put a thumbs up at least. Because like I said, I want relationships to make it. But sometimes we just are not aware of really what we're putting out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of bad things can be picked up as parents sometimes. I would say divorce could be a whole lot easier. I mean, you may have money issues, but if children was not involved aside from money, it could be a whole lot easier. But when you add children to the equation, it's a whole different ballgame.
Complicated, man.
Because we can't even fathom what they're feeling or what they're going through or what they're facing or what they have received or what they've seen or what they've heard. We can't even fathom. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to somebody. Just 2 or 3 things that I learned from being married 20 years and then divorced. Y'all be blessed.
I wanted to bring this to Metal Eye Heads because he's a taken man and his opinion would be good to hear from different sides. So the points wouldn't be biased. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, sometimes people just want to just do those type of things just one-sided. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. He actually is going through marriage currently, right? So
that doesn't sound right. He's going through marriage.
I'm not saying it's going to end.
He's going through marriage.
Yeah, currently.
That doesn't sound right at all.
Maybe I'm sensing an energy. Maybe I'm sensing an energy.
What he's trying to say, I'm married. This is what he's trying to say.
So you don't like the currently part?
Nah, I'm going through marriage. Like
people always say they're going through divorce currently.
You're going through divorce.
So why can't you go through marriage currently? Like why not? So when it's positive, you can't go through it. So it's only when it's negative. Makes no sense to me.
Oh my god.
Makes absolutely no sense.
I never look at it that way.
It's positive.
Yeah, but you made some good points. I must say, yeah, for one, the kids don't hold people together, and to be in a marriage for 20 freaking years, and
that's just marriage, huh?
Yeah,
they could have been together for way longer.
That's what I'm saying. They could be for way longer, and you're not seeing these little signs, man. You're not seeing that the two of you are not on the same page. I don't know. Now that is just gonna make me look at things a little bit more closer. I'm just gonna make sure. I know for sure we're on the same page, but I gotta look, put on my glasses, man, and just look at things a little bit more closer, man. Yeah,
it kind of raise some concerns.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You said something earlier on where you mentioned that you gotta vet the person, right, and see if the person, take some time. But something, I don't know if I mentioned that to you in talking, not from on video, but for talking. What a lot of people fail to realize, you could do the very best. You vet the right person that's for you. They have morals and everything that you want. Because not everyone that don't have morals, right? And everything you want. But people fail to realize who I was at 20 years is not who I am at 48.
Right.
Personality changes. People grow. Values that you once had when you were 20, you might not have it when you're 40.
Nope.
Values can change. So, based on that, your relationship can have problems because of those things that have changed throughout the years.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean nothing that you have done or the person have done. It's just they have just grown and it doesn't align with your ideology or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there are many.
There's so many things that could cause these issues, you know.
Yes, there are many. I was talking to my cousin. There are many girls in my class and girls I knew, not in my school, but in my year. And right now, they're in the 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, and they're Rastafarians. I would never think those women would have anything to do with that kind of ideology. You got where I'm coming from?
Right,
so what if you someone and their ideology has started to shift to go in that direction, for example, and it's totally different from yours? What are you gonna do? You get where I'm coming from? It's totally something you don't even believe in.
Yeah.
So it changes, because I'm telling you, I would never think that those women would have been in that kind of ideology. Nothing against Rastafarianism, but I'm just using it as an example.
I was just about.
I still last year.
I was just about to say.
But
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, there could be a lot of thing, but what she said, 15 years, brother. 15 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. And why say it now? Why do say that could have been said earlier, where you could have tried to, make it work? Or he has been doing that for a very long time, ignoring these little things, So, well, boy, right now you make me look at things a little bit more closer, Yeah.
Like the way and I've said that many times before. In order for relationships, marriage to last for a long time, is if it's built on lies. Majority of the times, if it's built on lies, because that marriage could have lasted longer.
It could have lasted longer.
She just didn't tell it. Just don't tell the truth.
Don't say anything.
You got where I come from?
Yeah.
And there are people that just hide the actual way they feel.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
They don't say anything. Now, sometimes when they don't say anything, the marriage or the relationship might suddenly end, and without you even knowing. But all along there was a problem. All along that they just he or she refused to mention. So you may be wondering, but what did I do wrong? Like, how did we go wrong? But they would have just not been truthful about the situation from the big, from a certain point. Because I'm guarantee you, at least she had the audacity, had the courage to tell him that.
That's what she told.
Not many women would have done that. They would have just tried to just leave.
Yeah.
So I can give her that much. That was kind of interesting that she actually told him that.
Well, and
when he asked the question,
we gotta go deeper into that story, because I feel there is more to that.
Yeah, there's a part two.
There's a part two. Yeah, so we're gonna go deeper into that, because there has to be more than that. There has to be more to that, Yeah, so we're definitely gonna dive into that one as well.
Yeah. So like I said, he's currently going through marriage. The guy was offended. The guy's offended. I'm saying something positive.
Guys, please tell me if that sounds. Tell me how that sounds, because that doesn't sound right at all, man. Why could you just say I'm currently married? I'm currently going through marriage. No, guys, please tell me. All right, I'll be looking for you in the comment section. All right.
Yeah. Yes. This was really an eye opener.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Yes. But I just hope none of you guys out there aren't one of those damned. Until next time, peace out.